Hi guys, Mrs. Kindred here. I'm going to help you use your graphing calculator to find the mean, standard deviation, and variance of a random variable. So we have to put that data in a list. So I got to get to my list. We go Stat, Edit, L1. In the L1, we're going to put the random variables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 1, down arrow, 2, down arrow, etc. Get that in kind of quickly, all the way to 7. And then we'll arrow over, and I'll put in the, I don't want log, that's for sure. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. I gotta do it here. I want to pause it for a second, and I'll put the things in without you looking. Maybe I'll pause it for a second. There it is. Okay, I'm back. You can see that I put the different probabilities into L2, so now I have my random variables in L1, probabilities in L2. To find the expected value of the mean, what we're going to do is we have to take and multiply the data value minus probability and add them up. So I can do it right in a list. Notice that my L3 is highlighted. Okay, so you'll see what I'm going to type coming right there. I'm going to go second 1 to get L1 times second 2 to get L2, and that's taking the random variable times the probability, and those are all of the products there. Now I need to add those up, because that's what the mean is, to take the sum of it. Now what I'm going to do is, notice I do not have L4 highlighted. I'm just kind of using this as a working area, and I want to find the sum of all those values, and I'm going to do that in my second list function, second stat. So I go second stat, which is list, arrow over to math, and you can see number 5 is the sum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sum of L3. Now again, I want you to notice L4 is not highlighted. I'm just using this area as a workspace, like a note paper. Now I'm going to take the sum of L3, so I go second 3. I'm going to end my parentheses because that's how I roll. And the expected value, or the mean, is 4.66. Okay, I'm going to hesitate or just pause here for just a second. Alright guys, notice over here I typed in what our expected value, or our mu of x, is, and I also cleaned up L3. So now what I'm going to do is find the variance, or the standard deviation squared. So I've got my L3 highlighted, and the formula tells us that we need to take each data point. Well, each data point's in L1, minus the mean, which we just calculated to be 4.66. I'll put that in there. So I'm going to take each data point minus the mean, and I'm going to square it. There's my squared button. Now it's going to start not showing up, but I'm going to multiply it by L2. Okay, I think if I just put L2 there, it'll work. So maybe I won't put the multiplied sign, otherwise you won't see it all. So we're going to multiply that by L2, by the probability. Ooh, not L5. That will not do. Try again. By L2. There we go. And if I press enter, it will fill it all into L3. Notice I kept the mean there, just so we can kind of still see it. Okay, now what I have to do next to find the variance is I actually have to sum up that list. So we've done that before. I'm going to do it again in here. L4 is not highlighted. That's Will. He's talking about the football game. Okay, so I have to add that list up. So I go again, second list. It's a math operation, so I'll arrow over to math. And I'm going to sum L3, second L3, let's hope it shows up right, and that will be the variance. Okay, now how do I find the standard deviation of that? Well, that's just the square root of 1.444. So I'm just using this L4 as my workspace. I'm going to keep doing that. So I'll go second x squared, that's where my square root is, and I'm just going to put in there 1.4444. It's really a repeating. Could do it another really cool way too, take L4 of 2, but enough for today. And now, that won't do. Let's see what we got here. Now let's try it. Oh man, that's because I'm mixing my computer with my calculator. Now let's try it. There we go. So the variance, and I'll just come right on over here, is 1.444, and then the standard deviation is the one below it. I just took the square root of 1.444, and this is about 1.2018, and I think that's it. Remember, Mrs. Kindred loves you, she cares about you, and wants you to do well. I hope this helps.